Yes. Yes, Mr. Lanir, you can start now.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
New week.
Good morning.
So we continue our exploration of the nature of the human mind, how to be free of suffering, and how to live a peaceful life here in the everyday human life. So we can welcome Sri Bhagavat, who is our guide and teacher in this matter.
Thank you, Lanir. I welcome all of you. Continuously, we are seeing what is the conscious mind and what is the total mind. And we see the total mind does not have any problem, even though it exists within ourselves. Only the conscious mind alone having some problem. So we are seeing what are the contents of the total mind and what are the contents of the conscious mind, how it is functioning. We are seeing everything bit by bit. And we are having actually we are seeing what all our problem. So we have classified our problem into totally psychological, totally physical, and the combination of both. So if the problem is totally psychological, that means we don't have any work at all. So psychological problem is natural one. We need not work for that. It will come and go on its own. So if it is a physical problem, we have to do something physically to set right the physical problem. Sometimes it is a mixture of both psychological and physical. Then only our approach is somewhat difficult. What we have to do and what we need not do. So in this way, so if it is totally physical, totally psychological, our approach is very easy. There is no problem at all. But when it is the mixture of both psychological and physical, then only the complication arises, and thereby we are dealing with what we have to do in that condition. So here, the conscious mind unnecessarily thinking this and that and confuse it within itself and make the problem in a worst condition. So the intellect within the conscious mind creates all the nuisance, and the intellect has to understand it is the nuisance for the everything, and the intellect has to submit to the total mind. So today we are going to ask one question. So we have already seen we have to hand over everything in the hands of
international level.
You can mute all Lanir, and then whatever want we can open. So here, so we have to hand over everything in the hands of the total mind. So now we are going to see and ask a question: what are the things that we have to hand over to the total mind? So we have seen in many ways, and we are straightly asking a question: what are the things that we have to hand over in the hands of the total mind? Lanir, you can summarize the total and ask the question.
Okay. אז שרי בגב"ת הציג את בעצם את שלושה סוגים של אתגרים שאנחנו ניצבים בפניהם בחיי היום-יום. אתגר אחד זה אתגר שבו הוא הפעולה הנדרשת מאיתנו היא חיצונית בלבד. אתגר אחר הוא אתגר שהפעולה הנדרשת מאיתנו היא פנימית בלבד, הבעיה נמצאת בעולם הפסיכולוגי. ואתגר שלישי זה אתגר שבו אנחנו נמצאים בבעיה גם בעולם הפנימי, בעולם המנטלי, הפסיכולוגי, וגם בעולם החיצוני, ונדרשים לפעולה בשני המישורים האלה. ושרי בגב"ת המשיך ואמר שכבר ראינו שבעצם האינטלקט שבעצם נלחם ומנסה לנהל את העולם הפנימי הוא הבעיה, והוא צריך להיכנע לטוטל מיינד או לאלוהים. אבל השאלה שנשאלת עכשיו היא, מה בדיוק באופן מעשי, איזה בדיוק דברים, מה האינטלקט צריך למסור לטוטל מיינד? מה הם הדברים האלה שהוא צריך להעביר את האחריות למיינד הטוטלי? אז זאת השאלה. שבי בגב"ת.
Are you finished?
Yes, I finished.
Okay. So we have seen what all possible for the conscious mind. The conscious mind has to do something we cannot execute. Some work it is not possible. Some work it is not in the hands of our conscious mind. Where the conscious mind is unnecessarily thinking this and that related to the complicated work. So we have seen that such complicated work must be handed over in the hands of the total mind. So what all such complicated work that are available with us? So what kind of complicated work we are facing? What kind of complicated work that we have to entrust with the total mind? And you may try to contribute in your own language.
אז מי שיש לו איזה רעיון, מה הדברים שאנחנו, ה-conscious mind או האינטלקט צריך למסור למיינד הטוטלי, הם יכולים לדבר.
And you may share your ideas.
Yeah, one thing could be all actions. So
Okay.
all actions should be done by total mind.
What
All actions.
elections?
Actions.
Actions.
Yeah.
Actions by the total mind.
Yes.
So we are having, we have to entrust with the total mind all our action.
Yes.
You mean?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any other ideas?
some routine works are there. Routine works need not be handed over to the total mind. For example, say we go for shaving, or taking a bath, taking a brushing, like that. Take, say, coffee. They are all routine kind of work. We need not hand over it to the total mind. Conscious mind itself can take a decision and execute.
Okay. Okay. Lani, you can translate both the question and answer. 2 questions and 2 answers.
אז דני אמר שלדעתו מה שצריך למסור למיינד הטוטלי זה הפעולות שלנו. ומיסטר באבולאל אמר מה שצריך למסור, לא צריך למסור את הפעולות השגרתיות, כמו לצחצח שיניים ולהתקלח ולשתות קפה, זה לא משהו שצריך למסור, אולי את הדברים היותר מורכבים. That's it.
Okay. Lani Rosrat, you may contribute.
Yeah.
Oh. Is it Nirmalan?
Yes, yeah. No,
Okay. You can stay.
Any important work where the conscious mind find difficult to deal with, submit to the total mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody is correct. There is no wrong. But anyhow, you have to contribute. All are correct. Okay.
Okay, I can also say something.
Okay.
I see the problem with the actions that are not in our hands. Let's say there is a situation, a given situation, which is mostly not in your hands. Now, let's say, of course, we always have some wishful result, expectation for something to happen. And in those cases, I think it's very hard to give up on your expectations.
Okay.
And to set the situation free, the result. So I would say these are the problematic situations which we are emotionally involved in the result, and therefore it's very hard to let go.
Okay. So that we have to hand over to the total mind.
That would be the best, yes, if possible, if we could manage to do that.
So if we hand over the total mind, the conscious mind will be calm. So otherwise it will be agitated.
Right.
Unnecessarily. Okay. You may translate in your own language also.
Okay. ואני אמרתי שהפעולות, בעצם כל הסיטואציות שאין לנו בהן שליטה לחלוטין על התוצאה שלהן, הן סיטואציות בעייתיות מבחינתנו, כי תמיד אנחנו נרצה, בדרך כלל יהיה לנו איזשהו רצון אישי לתוצאה מסוימת, ופה זה יהיה קשה לוותר בעצם על הרצון הפנימי שלנו, ולהגיד מה שיקרה יקרה. להיות בסדר עם כל תוצאה, ופה בעצם זה נראה לי הסיטואציות שהכי היה רצוי למסור אותם לטוטל מיינד.
אוקיי. Lanir, what is about your opinion?
Everybody already said that. I can say 2 things. That one from the Bhagavad Gita,
Mm.
where Krishna said something similar to what Oshrat said, but only broaden it to everything you do.
Mm.
Like you have the right for acting, but you don't have a right for the results of your actions. The fruits of your action is not in your hand. So if you can detach yourself from the results of what you do, you can do whatever you want, but don't expect any results from the results are from God. Then the mind is free to act, but he is free from the results. This is one thing, one approach you can take.
Okay.
And another approach you can take is that although I am the instrument through which actions are performed, I'm not the origin of the actions. I am just some kind of instrument that is used by the higher intelligence and is acting through me. So whatever is acting, it's not my actions, it's God's action or the total mind action. It's not me, I'm just a tool. And so this can also be the thought that I am the doer can be handed over to the total mind.
Total mind. Okay.
Yes. The total mind is the doer, I'm just the instrument.
Okay. Okay, nice. You can translate.
אז מה שאמרתי זה שיש שני גישות שאפשר להוסיף, זה לקחת את הרעיון של אושרת, אבל להרחיב אותו לכל הפעולות שלנו. בבאגבד גיטה, אחד הספרים הקדושים של ההודים, נאמר, קרישנה אומר, אתה יכול להיות, אתה חופשי לפעול, זו הזכות שלך לפעול לפעולה, אתה חייב לפעול בעולם, אבל אל תהיה קשור לתוצאות של הפעולה שלך, לפירות של הפעולה שלך. וכך אם אתה פועל מבלי לצפות לפירות של הפעולות שלך, אתה חופשי. ועוד גישה שאפשר להסתכל עליה היא גם הגישה שאומרת, אני זה לא המקור, הפעולות שלי מקורן לא בי, אני רק כלי שדרכו הפעולות האלה מתרחשות, מתוך כוח עליון פועל דרכי, הטוטל מיינד או אלוהים, אם אתה מאמין, ואני לא, בעצם אני לא העושה של הפעולות, הן עוברות דרכי אמנם, אבל אני לא המקור שלהן. אז זה עוד דרך שאפשר להסתכל על העניין. That's it, Shrikmat.
Okay. And any other want to share their idea? What is the idea of Rita?
ריטה, מה את חושבת?
שאני בשיטה אחרת, אני חושבת שצריך לזרום ולהשתמש בצורה לפי הצורך.
ריטה, את יכולה לכוון את המצלמה קצת שיראו אותך? תורידי את המצלמה קצת יותר למטה, או שאת תעתה לי. כן, עכשיו יותר טוב. אולי אפילו עוד קצת. כן, יופי. אז מה את אמרת, ריטה, שאת בעד לזרום עם המצב?
כן, ולהשתמש לפי הצרכים בכל הדברים.
להשתמש לפי הצרכים בכל היכולות שלנו?
כן.
Okay. So Rita says that she thinks that one has to flow with the situation and use every ability that he has in order to solve the problem.
So the question is, what all we have to hand over in the hands of total mind? So the flowing is the result. If we hand over the burden to this total mind, the flowing is very easily possible. So for that, what are the things that we have to hand over to the total? That is the question. You can tell her.
מה הוא אומר?
ריטה, שרי בגבת אמר, הוא אומר שהתוצאה, אם אתה מעביר לטוטל מיינד או לאלוהים את מה שאתה רוצה להעביר לו, אז התוצאה תהיה זה שאתה זורם עם המצב. אבל השאלה שלו אמר, מה אתה צריך להעביר, כאילו, איזה אחריות אתה מעביר לאלוהים, או לטוטל מיינד, על מנת שתתאפשר הזרימה הזאת שאת מדברת עליה. זאת השאלה שלו. מה אתה צריך למסור כביכול?
כן, בשיטה שלי אני תמיד משתמשת באופטימיות ובחיוביות, ומקווה שהתוצאה תהיה כזאת.
Rita says that in her view, it's like you just have to keep yourself optimistic and positive, and then everything works out.
Okay. Okay.
Wish for the best.
So, and one another aspect we have to consider. For example, this example I have already spoken many times, but anyhow we have to remind with that aspect. For example, there are many complicated problems around us and we have to do many things. But even though we are facing with many problems, psychologically we are unaffected and we are free. This is one aspect of our action. And another aspect is, physically there is no problem. Everything is good. The atmosphere is good. Our relationships are good. Our works are very nice. Everything is good and nice. But at the same time, our psychological system is very troubling us. It is creating nuisance for itself. It is always feeling some unnecessary things. It is not okay. So physically everything is okay, but psychologically we are not okay. This is the next aspect. The first aspect is, physically there are many problems, but psychologically we are all right. So this is two incidents, two aspects. So in these two aspects, which is the best one, which we have to select? This is the question here. Rainer, have I explained well?
Yeah. So, אז שיר בגבת מדבר על שני מצבים אפשריים. מצב אחד זה שאנחנו, יש לנו הרבה בעיות בחיים, בעיות שאנחנו צריכים לפתור, אולי עם הבן זוג, הבת זוג, אולי עם בעבודה, אולי עם הילדים, אבל אנחנו מרגישים, מבחינה פנימית אנחנו יציבים ומתנהלים טוב ומרגישים מצוין, הכל בסדר איתנו מבחינה פנימית, אנחנו שלווים ומרוצים. ומצב אחר שיכול להיות זה שמבחינה חיצונית אין לנו בעיות, הכל בסדר, הכל מתנהל כמו שצריך, אבל מבחינה פנימית אנחנו מאוד סובלים בחרדות, בקונפליקט פנימי, בפחדים, ואנחנו לא שבעי רצון מבחינה פנימית, להפך, אנחנו נמצאים בסערה פנימית כמעט כל הזמן. אז מה משני המצבים האלה היינו בוחרים? אם היינו יכולים לבחור, איזה מצב היינו בוחרים? That's it, Shibagana.
Okay. So here, comparing the physical problem, the psychological aspect alone creates real problem. So we have given you two sets of idea. The one is psychologically free. The another one is psychologically not free. When we are psychologically free, even though there is many problem outside, but in the another aspect, physically everything is okay, but psychologically we are not okay. So here, which type of thing we will select, whether the first one or the second one. The first one is psychologically okay, physically not okay. The second one is physically everything is okay, but psychologically we are not okay. So if you select, which one you will be selecting?
It is like selecting, do I select pain or do I select suffering? So probably suffering is more problematic. So I would select psychological freedom.
So psychological freedom, that the first one, you select the first one.
Yeah.
Where psychologically you are all right, but physically many problems.
Yeah.
You select the first one.
Yes. Yes.
אני מעדיפה את הדרך השלישית, שגם הפנימי וגם החיצוני יהיה בסדר.
What is saying?
She's saying that she preferred the third way, so everything is also good also outside and
Third
inside.
option.
So it is very nice to select the second one. Okay.
Yeah, I can say that, of course, I had all those in my life. I can remember times where I felt exactly that everything outside is good and my inside world is disaster. And that was very, very difficult. And on the other hand, I experienced that all is good from the outside and my inner world. Everything is good. And I was very happy, and yet I felt it is very fragile. I can lose it like this. I knew that these are things which makes me happy now, but it might get spoiled. We are all healthy, we have everything, but still the fear was very much inside. I felt very happy and I knew this happiness is not, it's very, very fragile. And I remember also time when I had extremely difficult time during my pregnancy. It was with my pregnancy. And yet nothing, I didn't feel any problem. I didn't feel it was extremely unpleasant situation, and yet I didn't feel I have any problem with the world, nothing whatsoever. I was clear, out of problems. So of course you can experience many situations in life, and the best situation is which you are feeling okay with whatever happens and you're not afraid and you feel that there is no problem. This is the best, but life every time shows you a different aspect, and in that way life teaches you what's important. Or that's an easy question what you asked. It's very easy.
But anyhow, if the outside is okay, the inside is also okay. That is natural. But as an example, we are having some idea like this. So outside is not okay, but psychological we are okay. That is one example. The other one is that the outside is okay, but inside, but in even that time, insidely we are not okay. So, but if you thoroughly examine, everybody will vote for the first one, because we are always prefer the psychological happiness, psychological equilibrium. That alone is the main thing. If you are psychological okay, everything is okay. So that is the main thing. So here, so when we consider what is the actual problem, so here the actual problem is psychological, not the physical. So comparing with the physical thing, psychological thing alone is the highest one. So, if the real problem is not in the external world, the real problem is in the psychological world. So the real problem is in the psychological world. So we have to entrust our psychological system alone in the hands of total mind. So that is, here is alone is the problem. So where the problem is, that alone we have to entrust. So psychology, if we able to entrust the psychological system in the hands of the total mind, then there is not at all a problem. So the problem is only in the psychological problem. If the psychological problem is okay, everything is okay. So we have to hand over and entrust the psychological system of ourselves in the hands of the total mind. Lani, you can translate.
אוקיי. אז שרי בגבת בעצם אומר שכאשר אנחנו חוקרים לעומק, אנחנו רואים שבעצם מה שמעניין אותנו הכי הרבה זה המצב הפנימי שלנו, המצב הפסיכולוגי שלנו. כאשר המצב הפסיכולוגי הפנימי הוא יציב, הוא בהיר, הוא שקט, אז אנחנו מרגישים טוב, זה מה שאנחנו בעצם מחפשים. אז בתשובה לשאלה שהוא שאל, אז מה שאנחנו צריכים למסור ל-total mind, זה למעשה את העולם הפנימי שלנו. זאת אומרת שהעולם הפנימי שלנו, אנחנו לא מתעסקים איתו, הוא מנוהל לחלוטין על ידי ה-total mind, אנחנו מתעסקים רק עם העולם החיצוני. אז מה שאנחנו אמורים למסור ל-total mind שלנו זה את העולם הפנימי, העולם הפסיכולוגי. I wanted to ask something, Sri Bhagavan.
Okay.
There is you heard about the books of Carlos Castaneda? You heard about them?
Oh, Eckhart Tolle?
No, Carlos Castaneda. It's old books. Carlos Castaneda. It's the teachings.
I have not come across with the teacher.
This is a teaching from the shamans shamans, which is like priests of Native Americans, Indians from America, not Indians from India, Indians from
Okay.
America.
Okay.
So they have this tradition of teachings, and it was written by an anthropologist who went to Mexico, and then he was became a student of one of the teachers there, and then he had a very strange idea about the human mind, which in some way is connected with what we are speaking of, but only from a different angle. So he would say that actually the human mind is not our original mind. It is like some entity is impostering as ourselves and gives us the impression that our mind, his mind is our mind, actually. And then because of this, we have all our problems, because we think this mind, which is not ours originally, we think it is our mind. We feel it is our mind, but actually it is somebody else's mind. It's like a
foreign installation.
It's like a foreign installation, not our original mind. And then actually to get release of this mind, it actually is doing what you are suggesting. It's just letting it be and giving it to the higher power or whatever, not giving it any importance. So only the explanation is different. What is it, this mind? But the actual how to be free of it is the same.
Okay. So he is also telling the same thing. And Nisargadatta Ramana Maharishi also saying that our what is working here, the real I am is not the existing I am. The real what we are consciously feeling is not real I am. So we have to, it is a falsehood. It is a expression of some falsehood. So we have to dismiss all the conscious mind. So in this way, so many people saying like this.
Yes, in different ways. Yes.
So anyhow, we have to give less importance to the conscious mind. Either we have to submit to the total mind, or we have to understand that we are the secondary one or the unimportant one. We have to understand like this. Then only if the importance goes to the conscious mind, then only the total mind will take the role.
Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj said that because of identification with the body, because we are identified with the body, that's why many problems are there. And this identification needs to vanish. So actually, in all the problematic situations, they are somehow related to the falsehood idea of I'm the body.
It is one of the aspects, but mainly the totally the very existence of the conscious mind is a falsehood. It is the expression of falsehood. So whether it is connected to the body or soul, whatever it be, the very expression of the conscious mind itself is falsehood. So it is also the idea of Nisargadatta Maharaj.
Yes, because it is the mind that says, I am the body.
Yeah.
It is not the body that says, I am the body. The body doesn't say anything.
It's only an idea.
The mind says, I am the body.
I am the body.
So how do you deal with this problem, this identification? It's very strong. The strong one. It is a strong idea. Okay, it's an idea, but still it's very deep-rooted.
So it is only one of the particulars. But if you need not worry about the particulars. If you totally disregard the conscious mind, all particulars will be united within the total.
Mhm.
It is only a minor particular. Giving importance to the body, it is one of the particulars. But even though some way sometimes it may not give importance to the body, sometimes it may relate to some other things. But anyhow, it is the expression of the conscious mind. So the conscious mind is the problematic one. So if you totally disregard the conscious mind, everything is included.
But still, I think you need to have a very deep insight to that in order to do that, in order to let go of this conscious mind, which is actually what we take ourselves to be. This conscious mind is what we think we are, is our self in a way.
So anyhow, the conscious mind
So
is
disregard
agitating.
yourself.
The conscious mind itself is agitating like this. So we have to hand over the entire conscious mind in the hands of the total mind.
Right. But this you say only with the understanding of all the problems comes from this idea. This will be the what will give you power to do that, only by recognizing that this is the problem and
So by recognizing the problem itself, the power will be. So whenever we recognize our mistake, we will not give importance to the thing. If you do not give importance to the thing, we will stop working. So what is important here is that we have to recognize our mistake. So recognition of our mistake alone is enough. The other will take care of it. The total mind will take care of it.
yeah. You know, in order to recognize the mistake, you need to have a very, very deep insight to see the mistake. In order to see that, because the mistake is that you take yourself to be something which you are not, and you need to see that. It's very, very. It needs a very deep understanding of this. You need to see that, and it is, of course, this is what tricks you. So, in order to see that, you need to have a very, very deep insight. More than, I think, only intellectually understanding that. Intellectually, I understand that, but still it doesn't give me the deeper insight to see that. This is how I feel.
But the intellectual understanding alone is in our hand. So that is enough. For what is enough, for what is capable of our thing, that we can do. We need not worry about the incapable things. So what is capable for ourselves, that we can do. So intellectual understanding alone is capable for within ourselves. So to that extent, we can understand. So if you do not think otherwise, the very simple understanding will act.
Okay.
Okay. Lenny, you can summarize then.
Okay, I can try to translate.
Okay.
אני אתייחס למה שאני אמרתי, ואולי אחר כך לניר יתייחס למה שהוא אמר, לשאלה שהוא שאל. בעצם אני אמרתי לשרי בגבת שיש מורה שנקרא ניסרגדתה מהראג', והוא מדבר על זה שההזדהות עם הגוף היא הבעיה. בעצם אנחנו מזדהים עם הגוף שלנו, ותחושת האני שלנו נובעת מהגוף שלנו, ובעצם ההזדהות הזאת היא כל כך חזקה, שבעצם אנחנו צריכים לנסות בעצם להתנתק מההזדהות הזאת, ושיר בגבת אומר שבעצם שורש הדברים זה, הוא אומר זה רק עוד רעיון שעולה בתוך פה אתה יכול לעזור לי, אני, אתה עם הבהירות שלך יותר טוב ממני.
זה רק עוד אספקט אחד של הבעיה, אבל זה לא הדבר המרכזי. הדבר המרכזי הוא בעצם שאתה פשוט מפסיק לתת חשיבות למיינד המודע. הוא שם, כל הפעילות שלו, שהיא לא פעילות של אני צריך ללכת לעבודה עוד 10 דקות, כל הפעילות האחרת, אתה מוסר אותו לטוטל מיינד, שיעשה איתו מה שהוא רוצה. אתה מתייחס רק לפעילות שהיא רלוונטית לחיי היום, להתנהלות פיזית. אבל כל הפעילות המנטלית שהיא קשורה למבנה הפסיכולוגי, ראיית עולם או דברים מהסוג הזה, אתה מוסר את זה לטוטל מיינד. שאתה לא צריך להתעסק עם וכאשר אתה לא מעניק חשיבות למיינד המודע, אז בעצם עם זה גם הולך הרעיון של ההזדהות העמוקה של אני זה הגוף וכל הדברים האלה. ואז דיברתם על העניין הזה שאת אמרת שלצורך זה דרושה הבנה מאוד עמוקה ותובנה מאוד עמוקה. ושם בגבת אמר, תראי, התובנה עמוקה וכל הדברים האלה זה לא בידיים שלנו. מה שבידיים שלנו זה ההבנה השכלית הפשוטה, האינטלקטואלית הפשוטה. ואם את מסכימה עם זה, ובטוחה בהבנה האינטלקטואלית הפשוטה שלה, אז היא תפעל.
זאת אומרת שזה בעצם הדבר היחידי שנמצא בידיים שלנו, זה ההבנה האינטלקטואלית.
כן.
וזה מספיק בשביל לשחרר אותנו.
That's it, Shri Bhagavan.
Okay. If anybody wants any clarification on our point, we can discuss further.
אם מישהו רוצה לשאול משהו, אז זה הזמן. לקבל איזושהי הבהרה.
כן, לדוגמה, למצב פנימי וחיצוני. אפשר.
Rita asks for example for inner situation and outer situation.
So outer situation, for example, we have some pressure of work in the outer world, but in the psychological we may be calm. We need not worry about the outer pressure of our work. Sometimes we may lose our property or anything, but at the same time psychologically we will not be affected. But at the same time, in other words, externally everything is okay, there is no problem at all, but at the same time unnecessarily psychologically we are in demand of something. We are not satisfied with anything. We are unnecessarily afraid of many things. This will not happen, this will happen. So in this way, we may unnecessarily boiling within ourselves. So that may be the example.
אז ריטה, שרי בגבת אומר שלמשל יכול להיות מצב שבו אתה, יש עומס מאוד גדול בעבודה, אבל אתה בסדר עם זה, אתה לא מושפע. או איבדת את הרכוש שלך, אבל אתה רגוע עם הדברים, אתה מקבל את זה. זה לא, אתה לא מאבד את שיווי המשקל הנפשי שלך. ומצבים אחרים יכולים להיות שדווקא בחוץ הכל בסדר, נגיד כמו אנשים מאוד עשירים, שאין להם בעיות מיוחדות, אבל הם אומללים, הם כל הזמן חושבים כל מיני מחשבות שווא, ומפחדים מדברים שאולי יקרו ואולי לא יקרו, ואין להם שקט נפשי בכלל. בסדר איתה? הבנת?
כן, תודה.
Okay, she understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you turn to the conscious mind for answers, then you will take you on a long, long ride, and it will never end.
Mm-hmm.
The conscious mind always have a new problem, a new concept, a new a question, and it never ends. So it ends only when you give up the conscious mind and
Okay.
you can do what you want, but I don't listen to you anymore.
So this conclusion, the conscious mind has to arrive. Otherwise, so if the conscious mind arriving to the conclusion, it will stop. Otherwise, it will be doing its job endlessly.
No solution in the conscious mind. There is no solution.
No solution.
It will just go on and on and on.
I was reminded in some, I think it was some Zen master that said that life is one disappointment after the other. This is life. Life is disappointment, one more and one more and one more. And I can very much relate in my feelings to this feeling. I also feel that life is full of disappointments. And then I ask myself, is it because I expect something from life? If I wouldn't expect anything, then life would not be a disappointment. It would be what it is. Because I expect something particular, then I get disappointed. So it's my expectation.
So all this is the aspect of the conscious mind. So we have to entrust the total conscious mind in the hands of total mind. That's all. So it will be like that. There we cannot have any solution within itself. So we have to totally entrust with the total mind, whether whatever it be doing, doing the good thing or bad thing, let it go. Let the total mind will take care of that. We have to totally entrust with the total mind.
Yes, even the privilege of having everything okay from the outside is not good enough. It's not a good, even having it all good, it's not good. The only option is to, what you say.
Lenny, you can translate the conversation.
אוקיי. אז אני אמרתי שבעצם שכחתי מה אמרתי, שבעצם אין תשובה למיינד המודע, אי אפשר למצוא את הפתרון שם. זאת אומרת, תמיד יהיה לו עוד שאלה ועוד בעיה ועוד ספק ועוד משהו להתעסק איתו ועוד חשש. אין סוף לעניינים שיש למיינד המודע לעסוק בהם ולפחד מהם ולכעוס עליהם. שבעצם הדרך היחידה היא שבעצם אתה מוותר על כל העיסוק הזה. אתה מניח למיינד הזה לעשות מה שהוא רוצה, אבל אתה לא נותן לו חשיבות יותר. אתה מבין שלא יהיה לזה סוף, ולא תוכל למצוא תשובות שם. ולהניח למיינד הזה, למסור אותו לטוטל מיינד, או לאלוהים, או איזה כוח שאתם תרצו לקרוא לזה. כן, שרי בגבעת הסכים עם זה, ואז אשרת אמרה שבעצם בחיים שלה, זה התאים לאיזה משפט זן שהיא שמעה, שהחיים זה פשוט אכזבה אחת אחרי השנייה. ואפרת אמרה שגם בחיים שלה היא יכולה לראות את זה ולהרגיש ככה, ושבעצם זה נובע מזה שיש לך ציפיות לגבי מה שיקרה, ואז שזה לא קורה אז אתה מאוכזב. שרי בגבעת אמר שזה כן, זה עוד אספקט אחד של ה-conscious mind, ולכן הדרך היחידה היא באמת לשחרר את כל ה-conscious mind הזה, עם כל הדברים הטובים והרעים שהוא עושה, ולמסור אותו לאלוהים או למיינד הטוטלי, או איך שלא תרצה לקרוא לזה, ולהישאר מה שאתה. זהו. That's it, Shiva.
Okay. So handing over the conscious mind to the total mind means we have to totally accept the conscious mind itself. It will be like that. So accepting totally the conscious mind itself is just like handing over the conscious mind to the total mind. So when we understand that, everything will be all right. When it is entrusted to the total mind, everything will be all right. That means we are not finding fault with the conscious mind. We need not try to separate the conscious mind, and we have to accept the conscious mind totally. That itself is the entrust the conscious mind in the hands of the total
mind. Small question, Shri Bhagavat.
Okay, you can cover it.
Do you think there is some importance in order to understand, in order to really do what you're saying, in order really to let go of the conscious mind, do you think there are any outer circumstances that can support that? For instance, environment which is more natural, less disturbed, like more in a natural place, or being beside a teacher that lived to this understanding. Do you think there is any that these things can help?
But psychologically, what is your opinion is the important thing. So if you are torturing by your mind, the very torturing by your mind itself is the instrument for the, so it will instigate your inquiry and instigate your result. The outer circumstances is a secondary one. You need not worry about the external circumstances, because each and every circumstances will have some psychological reaction. And in the psychological reaction, sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be worst. So psychologically, it will be up and down. So it is natural. And but most of ourselves are trying to saturate the psychological system. The psychologically we will be all right. So we are trying to saturate our psychological mind. So that is the real problem. And we are trying in many ways, and we come to a conclusion that we cannot saturate correctly and totally. So if we give up our struggle within ourselves, we are giving total freedom to the psychological mind. So we are giving total freedom to the conscious mind itself. So the giving total freedom to the conscious mind itself give the liberation to the conscious mind.
So, so you say that actually handing the conscious mind to the total mind is actually giving freedom to the conscious mind.
Conscious mind.
This is the practical. Practically speaking, this is the like surrendering the conscious mind to the total mind is done by a total acceptance of the conscious mind.
No. So we are our duty, stop our work related to the conscious mind. So that means we stop our work with the conscious mind means we have already entrusted with the total mind.
Mm-hmm.
We are the conscious mind wholeheartedly accept the falsehood nature or the troubling nature of the conscious mind itself, wholeheartedly.
Yes, I was teaching a meditation lesson Friday morning, and there was a lady there who said she's with me already. I think I'm teaching there already 5 or 6 years, the same people. And then she said to me, "Why are you now complicating the matter? We already understood what you wanted to say, but now you bring another angle and we are confused. You are unnecessarily complicating the subject."
Okay.
And then I told her, I'm saying the same thing. I'm only looking from different angles on the same subject.
Oh.
And then, but if you think that I am complicating the thing, then don't listen. Don't try to understand. Just listen to me like you are listening to the birds and the wind, and don't try to understand. Just listen as you are watching nature. You don't have to understand anything. And then another gentleman said after that when I said that to this lady, he understood something. And actually what happened to him was that he stopped trying to understand. And then he was relaxed. And he said, "Wow, it was wonderful." Something in me just relaxed that I don't have to understand. And I was very peaceful inside. And I told him, this is exactly, you just let go everything and it's okay.
The work to understand itself is a burden.
Yes.
So we have to relax from that work itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want, you can summarize.
אז אני סיפרתי לשיר בגבד שביום שישי היה לנו מפגש מדיטציה עם אנשים שאני מלמד אותם כבר 6 או 7 שנים. ואני כל פעם מסתכל על אותו נושא מזווית אחרת. אז אישה אחת אמרה, אבל כבר הבנו וכבר היינו בסדר, ואתה עוד פעם עכשיו מביא עוד איזה נושא ומסבך את העניינים. למה אתה עושה את זה? אז אמרתי לה, אני תמיד אומר את אותו דבר, אמרתי לה, אבל אני מסתכל על זה מזוויות שונות, ואם את לא, זה מרגיש לך כמו לסבך את העניינים, אז פשוט תתייחסי לזה כמו שמתייחסים לציפורים בשמיים, אל תנסי להבין מה שאני אומר, תישארי עם ההבנה שלך, ותקשיבי לי כמו שהיית מאזינה לטבע. ואז אדם אחר שם, פתאום אמר לי אחר כך, שכשאמרתי לה את זה, אז כל המתח שהיה בו, שהוא רוצה להבין מה אני אומר, פתאום מתפוגג, והוא מצא את עצמו במין שלווה כזאת, שקט, שהנה, הכל בסדר, אני יושב פה, הציפורים מצייצות, והדשא ירוק, והכל בסדר. ואז שבגבת אמר לגבי זה, כן, שזה גם הרצון להבין הוא בעצמו עול שאנחנו צריכים להסיר מעצמנו.
דווקא את השיעור הזה הפסדתי?
כן. את לא צריכה אותו כנראה. Rita was saying that she missed this lesson. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
You can finish.
we'll say goodbye. We'll meet in the next week.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Shiva.
much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Stop recording.
תודה, תודה, thank you.